Hello everyone, this is Zach with MTG Poke Hero, and I am finishing up the last little bit of spoilers, and this is the rest of the green cards spoiled. Our first green card was Ancient Brontodon, so for 6 and 2 greens you get a 9/9. That's really about it. Artwork's really neat. All in all, you'll probably just play this unlimited towards your top end, which is okay. The next one is Ixalan Archer, so for 2 and a green, it has reach. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it fights another target creature for 1/4. It's pretty okay. You can take out a 1/1, but all in all, not too much to be excited about. The next one is Blinding Fog, so for 2 and a green, prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures this turn. Creatures control gain hexproof until the end of the turn. I think it's really interesting. I like fog effects. We'll just really have to see where this goes. I don't really think it'll be useful in standard at this point. The next one is Blossom Dryad. So for 2 and a green, you get a Dryad. You may tap it, untap target land you can, and then you may pay, and it's a 2/2. All in all, it's okay. Limited, I think, is where it'll shine. Other than that, it's probably where it'll need to stay. Probably good in Commander. Everything's good if you can untap a land in Commander. Colossal Dreadmaw, so for 4 and 2 green, and it is a 6/6 trample dinosaur. Definitely in Limited, it's a really good card for everything like that. Just a really decent sized body that can trample over everything, and Limited is definitely the right home for it. The next one is Crash the Ramparts for 2 and a green. It's an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. I like it more in Limited for everything like that, just because how it interacts with combat. Just be able to get some extra damage over. All in all, that's probably where it needs to stay. Definitely won't be making the dinosaur deck, although it makes you feel like it should be there. Crushing Canopy, so for 2 and a green, you may choose one. Destroy target creature with flying, or destroy target enchantment. It's an instant. I think this could be a sideboard card in standard. Possibly. Personally, I like Appetite of the Hunger, the one that came out of Kaladesh more. But all in all, it's okay. Probably will see Limited play. Then we'll see more flyers in Limited, so that's probably where it really needs to be at. Deep Root Warrior. So for 1 and green, whenever Deep Root Warrior becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So you get a 3/3 for 2. It's a really good deal as long as it's blocked. It's a really good card. I like it. I think Merfolk is going to be really interesting, possibly even standard playable. The next one is Emergent Growth. So for 3 and a green, a sorcery target creature gets +5/+5 until end of turn, and must be blocked this turn if able. I think it's really interesting. It'd be really nice to get this with something on trample. We had Become Immense, which was really cool. It feels like we will probably never get that again, and for that rate, which is okay. Kind of makes us feel like this is kind of where they were going to go with it, but all in all, it's just really good for Limited. The next one is Isla's Devenir. So for 1 and a green, whenever it enters the battlefield, it explores. So you can get a 1/4, or you can get an extra land. That's okay. Limited card is really where it should be at. The next one is Ixalan's Keeper. So for 1 and a green, you may pay 7 and a green, sacrifice it. Target creature gets +5/+5 and gains trample until end of turn. It's a 2/2. Really good late mana sink in Limited. I think this is supposed to be the other one of our 1 and 8 ability, but it looks like they couldn't do that, which is kind of weird. All in all, decent card, Limited playable. That's about it. Jade Guardian for 3 and a green. It is a Merfolk Shaman with Hexproof. Whenever Jade Guardian enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target Merfolk you control. It's a 2/2. I like how it gives an extra +1/+1 counter onto the other Merfolk. I mean, all in all, it's really good for Limited, and I think that's probably where it'll stay. And that's kind of sad. I'd probably maybe for like 1 less mana, might be able to make standard, but I think even then it's asking too much. The next one is Jungle Delver. Not to be confused with regular Delver, because that's way better. For green, you may pay 4 for 3 and a green, put a +1/+1 counter on Jungle Delver, and it's a 1/1. I think the Deep Root Champion is definitely a lot better than this. I think this is just an early 1-drop if it does make the Merfolk deck, but all in all, it probably should just stay in limited. It's a mana sink for limited, and I think that's probably its best function. The next one is New Horizons, so for 2 and a green, enchant a land. Whenever New Horizons enter the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control. Enchant a land has tap, add 2 mana of any color to your mana pool. I think this card is just kind of really interesting. It just seems to do something that's a little bit different. Just the fact that it increases a creature's power, but then it also lets you tap for 2 mana. I think it can kind of go into the Dino deck for something a little bit more rampy, but I think with all the creature ramps that they have, it's good. All in all, should be okay in limited, but we'll see where it goes from there. Next one is Pounce. I was confused by this card at first. It is 1 and green, target creature you control fights, target creature you don't control. I don't kind of know why we couldn't just got like preyed upon in this. It just seems like that's kind of what they wanted. I really like the artwork because he's bouncing all over that horse, and that dude's like, I am gone. He's not dealing with it. You can tell he's looking over his shoulder. He's like, that vampire and his horse are done for. Oh, it's okay. But I think really that's where, limited, probably won't see standard play, which is okay. The next one is River Herald Boon. So for 1 and green, again, instant, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 Merfolk creature. So basically, you can give a Merfolk +2/+2 for 2. Pretty decent rate. I think it's pretty good for that. I think this will go with a blue Merfolk that makes it all Merfolk with +1/+1 counters unblockable. All in all, we'll see how that goes and how we can try to work that out. We've got all the cards now, we just gotta look at it. Really good limited, possibly standard playable. Next one's Spike-tailed Cyceratops. It is for 4 and green. It can block an additional creature each combat. It's a 4/4. I like how it messes with combat just because it can block 2 creatures. I think really unlimited is where it needs to stay. It's not going to make it in standard. There's just so many good dinos right now. But all in all, pretty okay. Limited card. The next one is Vine Shaper Mystic. So for 2 and a green, whenever Vine Shaper Mystic enters the battlefield, put +1/+1 counter on up to 2 target Merfolk you control. Dang. So we get the River Boon, but we get it on a 1/3 body. Pretty good deal. I think that will probably go really well with that Merfolk that I was talking about earlier. All in all, really good card for that. Definitely limited, possibly in standard. Well, we'll see. We'll see how these Merfolk look. Next one is Veranded Rebirth. So for 1 and a green, instant, until end of turn, target creature gains. Whenever this creature dies, it returns to its owner hand, and you get a draw card. Limited All-Star definitely messes with your opponent really bad. Just kind of get a point. Put an annoying threat, might have an annoying the battlefield trigger. You can usually just go ahead and shove it forward and be able to get a chance to have that ability and gain it back. Really good. I think it's probably one of the better cards for limited. The next one is Death Gorge Scavenger. So for 2 and a green, you get a rare dinosaur. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may exile target card from graveyard. If it's a creature card, is exiled this way, you may gain 2 life. If it's a non-creature card, is exiled this way, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This was the Magic Show's spoiler, and I think they got a good one. They made a lot of excellent points on it. It already hates the graveyard, which is hilarious because we play the graveyard, and I think this card is main deckable for standard. In that dinosaur deck, it's just a lot of figuring out. I keep mentioning it. It's just I'm so excited about the dinosaur deck, but my brain can't function right now because it's kind of late. But all in all, definitely standard playable. Definitely go check out the review of this. Those guys are awesome. You should look at them and check them out. But all good card. We'll see it in the standard dinos deck. It's going to mess with some different interactions with the graveyard for a lot of the control decks. Alright guys, I want to thank you all very much for checking out my video. If you like it, please like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. We're trying to grow. We've got one more video for you. I think we are the only one who has done this for every single card. So hopefully once this last video hits, everything has been spoiled and it's all been covered here. So remember, may the top decks be forever in your favor. Thanks.